Folks, welcome to SportsFocus. This is Cowboy Edition. Dallas all this episode. Dez, just the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. We have our two Cowboy fans. Jeffrey. And Kevin Civils. Woo!
He had to hold that one in like, yo, I'm about to say
it's the S. I gotta get the S on that one. Last time we talked about our team. It was all bad.
Very
a lot
painful
of negative.
man.
And I tried to, this particular one to show the light. As our team do, it's very little light, at the end of the tunnel when you're talking about the Cowboys. Primarily because, of these two gentlemen.
Mainly the one.
The older one. The older fella.
Yeah.
Jerry and Steven. But they did make a good move in signing Cedric Thornton.
Yeah, definitely.
He looks like the type of guy that's different than who they have on their roster. So
athletic guy.
It's a challenge. Damn bums talking. Excuse me. You hear riff raff. It's the Eagles. What do y'all think so far? I mean, of the free agency, I know this is probably the only new player that they signed.
Like this is basically hurting the Eagles fan in the background right now.
I know because they just lost one of their little, players.
Where did he go? He took a whole year off and everything.
That guy.
Remember
What's
the
that guy?
Titans? Yeah. Oh, Murray.
That guy. DeMarco. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
So, I mean, I think Dallas, they got some issues, man. Talking about this particular fella, whose SEC championship, the national championship ring is on eBay right now. He's putting it on eBay for $100,000.
Is he broke?
See, that would make you think that he might be a little, light in the pockets.
Yeah.
I question his decision to do that because I'm sure like maybe before he re-signed with the Cowboys, hey, what else I got to lose, Let me put this ring up, got his name on it. It's a nice big ring. And I don't know about Claiborne. I'm very suspect on this young man.
I think he'd be fine in the slot because I think that's where they're going to play him.
Yeah. He did make a comment saying that he's going to be the best this season. To all the haters, he's going to be the best.
It is an interception.
I know he hasn't had an interception. He didn't have the interception. No Cowboy cornerback had an interception in 2015. And he's going to... I'm trying to keep it positive, man. But
they're going to play him in the slot.
They're going to put him in the slot.
He's better off in the slot.
And he's going to come around. And he's going to be that number 6 pick that the Cowboys moved up for, gave up a second-round pick. He's going to be that guy.
But you also got to remember, he was picked to play on the cornerback for a 3-4, not a 4-3.
Yeah.
He haven't shown too
the
much.
System wasn't well for him.
The 4-3 is not good for him because the 4-3 requires the corners to do more coverage to give the ends of time enough to get in. When you had the 3-4 and you had those outside linebackers able to rush in along with them, he didn't need as much time to keep them covered as you do in the 4-3.
That's another way of breaking
so
it
he's
down.
like his boy. Well, we'll get into him later.
So Mr. Carr?
We'll talk about him later. They like to play that Olay
might
defense.
Steer clear of him. Yeah.
They like to play that. Any Cowboys fans that's watched the Cowboys game knows the Claiborne and Carr, how they, like to tackle. They like to let the guy get the yards first and then push him out of bounds and then go like this.
Or how Claiborne like to do? No fly zone?
No. What about Mr. Hanna?
He can go.
But they re-signed her for 3 years, $8 million.
But still, I
this was another play. It's like our Cowboys like to.
Man, we got crazy noise. What's that buffering?
Seemed like the Cowboys like to re-sign the mediocre players. The Cowboys was 4-12. Maybe it's time to bring in somebody else.
It
Time to
probably
bring
might
in
be
a
that
coach.
time. I mean, at the same time, too, Witten. You got to think about him. Who's going to be the real replacement?
Well,
Escobar or Hanna? I mean, like they said, he signed Hanna. I really don't see that as a bad move. I mean,
Yeah.
he seemed like he could actually still develop. They really didn't use him like that to begin with.
He's
Witten is the main
fast.
dude,
He's
yeah.
fast. James Hanna's,
He's fast, but he need to learn how to block.
which I don't think he
Yeah,
will.
he was telling me about that, too. That's one thing
He's
I
not a
didn't notice
blocker.
like that.
He's not a block. So when Dallas, to all you Cowboys fans that watch the games and they don't have a fullback, they run the 2 tight end thing and they have 84 in there. He's not a blocker. So you wonder why sometimes that doesn't work. He can't block.
Right.
Witten could block.
Oh,
Yes,
he
he
can
can.
block,
He
catch,
can't block.
route run, all that, man.
As we go on, Kyle, this is so depressing, man. I swear.
I mean, the only thing I know about this guy was that, the uncalled pass interference? Is that the only thing I remember him for right about now?
No, that was Hitchens.
Oh, is it just, see? I don't know none of these dudes. See? Look
It's
at it.
supposed to be joyous when you talking about your team, but ain't it? It's supposed to be like, yay!
I don't know this.
My
I know he's on the roster, but he hasn't done anything for me to recognize him though, as a real Cowboy player compared to like how DeMarcus Lawrence came along.
But they resigned him to whatever. I don't.
Because they feel.
They resigned him.
And that was the crazy thing for me.
I think they just wanted depth, and they just didn't want to go.
I tell you what,
I think that's what it is.
he's a good special teams player.
Yes.
Special teams is definitely something we need.
Because you need special teams, the guys that run down the field, make the tackles,
Yeah.
the guys that block. 51, Kyle Wilbur, he's your guy. So in that aspect, I see why the Cowboys, resigned him, and instead of going and getting anybody else. But
Bucky.
What the heck is on his head?
He looked like that character of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Brandon Carr,
Oh my gosh, yeah, he do.
number
Let it be alone.
39, in your heart.
He know
How,
good as well.
look, man,
You know good as
do you want to
he
blast him or you just want to go and be easy and say like, hey,
He knew good
appreciate
as
your
well
service.
that if they let him go, it would be dead weight against the cap, and they just don't have room for that right
They don't want to do that.
And they know good as
And
well
so
that they
they
have to pay
also
him.
said that the reason why they haven't cut Brandon Carr, because I think all Cowboys fans would be in agreement 100%, except besides his family, he should be cut immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cowboys is like, who's going to replace him? For me, I'm saying anybody.
the way Byron Jones came about, you can plug him over on the other side.
Draft the corner. They talking about on DallasCowboys.com. They talking about taking him and putting him at safety full time, so he can concentrate on one position. They need
That
to
would be
draft
good.
another corner. Put him on the bench.
Ramsey would be
Draft another
perfect if
corner.
we could.
That'd be an expensive bench rider though.
Yeah.
But they need to draft a corner and let him go.
Sometimes, I know Jerry's very prideful, and he doesn't want to just come out and admit that, we really messed up on this one.
Yeah.
This Brandon Carr
He
signing.
messed up on the pool signing. Remember, he couldn't even pass
yeah.
conditioning.
He couldn't, what's it, Namni Asamoah? And that was the problem right there. And I think he just looked at him as the same thing and figured, let's pay him the same
How
type
come
of
they
money.
didn't go and get Prince of Mukamura from the Giants? See, it's those things that you question. You're like, and Prince signed a 1-year deal with Jacksonville. So what is that all about?
It was just a
They
1-year
have
deal?
more money.
1-year deal.
More money.
Well, they didn't say how much he got, but I'm like,
Jacksonville had more money under
well, I
the
know
cap.
they got more money, but what did the brother get for a year? You got no security for a year.
No. And I thought he was solid of a corner, too.
From
for
the
Giants
games
and
I saw,
everything.
he is a solid and definitely an upgrade from the current Cowboy cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad thing about the Cowboys. They don't have much.
No.
But this is that little light that I talk about. The NFL draft.
That could be our savior right there.
They have 4 extra picks, compensatory picks. They got 3 extra in the 6th, so they have 4 picks in the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
They have no 7th round pick. and they have no 5th-round pick.
Right, they traded that away for.
They traded stupidly for
Castle,
whatever
right?
they did. I hope it wasn't for Castle. Lord
I
Jesus.
think it was Castle.
Castle.
It was Castle.
Yeah.
Dang it! But
It was worth a 5th-round pick.
But they definitely got some. Hopefully, they could pull this off. Now, the guy that the most media is talking about is Mr. Jalen Ramsey.
They said that he could go number 1, definitely with the talent.
Now, how would you feel if Jalen Ramsey's sitting there and they don't pick him?
It better be a very good reason.
I mean,
And it better be a very big hole that we needed to fill to get that person if we don't snap.
Because I think Jalen Ramsey, if he's there at 4, that's
Take
the
him.
guy. That's
the-
the guy.
but who would you would say the Cowboys would take over him if they don't get him and he's available? That would be the thing. Who would you grade higher than him? Honestly.
Well, when you look at the draft, number 1 is Tennessee. I'm guessing they should go with the big
Offensive
tackle from Mississippi. Okay. Then you got Cleveland. If they don't pull off the Kaepernick deal, if they don't get Kaepernick in the trade, whatever how they was talking about, then they should get a quarterback. But if they do get Kaepernick, do they still get a quarterback?
They need a backup.
Yeah.
So it should be wise for them to draft a quarterback as well.
And develop him up. Maybe
Develop
possibly
him
could be an
and-
Aaron Rodgers. Just to
Could
say
be.
maybe. You know what I mean? That actually could work.
Then that leaves San Diego. They just let Weddle go.
Yeah.
So they might take Ramsey. You know, they got offensive line issues. They have, receiver issues. So I don't know if there's a receiver high enough to take with that number 3, but then you got this guy.
Yeah.
So that might force Dallas' hand, and then you got Joey Bosa.
Bosa.
That's who the media loves for this pick. I personally don't. My reason is for that, he plays on the other side. He doesn't play versus the team's best offensive lineman.
Okay,
So that's why he's dominating on the other side. He don't play on the left tackle side. He play on the right tackle side. And I think that's troubling if you think he's going to be that same guy in the NFL. He probably has a good motor. He's big. He fits the part. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not feeling it.
Nah, definitely pass on.
DeForest Buckner, the big man from Oregon. That'll fill a nice need on that D-line
Yes.
with Cedric Thornton, this big boy. They finally could have something coming up the middle. Finally. They can work on the outsides and the edges, with Gregory's missing 4 games and they still got Lawrence. Free agency, get another, and then the draft.
And we did get the sign for the Eagles too, so we got a little bit of
So
depth, but
I wouldn't be surprised in that, but to me, this is the wild card.
That's the biggest one I would have to say. That's
What's the
especially for me.
chances that the Cowboys draft this guy at number 4?
I would say he could be like the second best player option wise for drafting right now. I know you showed Bosa at just recently, but I would definitely say move away from this guy. Move away from Bosa in the quarterbacks. Looking at Ramsey and Elliott. When I watched the videos for Elliott, and I was just really surprised how good this guy, he
Real
is.
sharp.
Like, looking
He's
at
real
Gurley
sharp.
from last year,
Yeah.
he is sharp.
Real sharp.
So for something like that, picking up a running back high like that, I say go ahead. Why not? We basically missed out last season. They didn't even bother to try to draft one.
The good thing about picking up a running back that high, he's going to have a high motor and go. And
Yes.
that offensive line where your backups could be starters for any other NFL team, get the running back and let the motor go.
And the fact that he said he wants to play for Dallas too.
The biggest point is, if he's going to run, and I've said it 10 billion times, if you're going to run Norv Turner's offense, you got to have a workhorse. If you don't have a workhorse, that offense do not run.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Folks, thank you once again for enjoying this Cowboy edition. Thank you, Mr. Civils.